of saints. Prayer. A lot of people do not believe in saints, Lord. Can't say I blame them. I bring this up today because I think I met someone who is one of those quiet, hidden people with the makings of a saint. I think you have modernized your template for saints. You no longer hide them in monasteries. You are calling people to the rigors of selfless service everywhere. I recognize grace and holiness when I'm around it, and this woman has the imprint. I certainly did not mention my thoughts to her. I never would. But I was deeply touched by the way she has designed her life around caring for the helpless and the homeless, including animals. She told me some outrageous stories about trying to get help for this person and that person. Each story sounded like a chronicle of heaven moving all forces on behalf of those who serve in the world. Only once did she say, "I swear I had the help of heaven on this one." That was the day she left her wallet at home, only to realize it after ordering to-go meals for 5 homeless people. They were waiting in the parking lot across the street from the restaurant, watching the door for her to walk out with their meals. Realizing she didn't have any money, she was about to ask the manager if he could trust her long enough to return with the funds. But just then, before she had revealed anything about her situation, another woman put a $100 bill on the counter. "Allow me," she said, and walked out. Telling me the story, this saintly woman laughed. "You know, I think God chose me to help others because I need so much help myself," she said. The woman who paid for those 5 meals did not know I had forgotten my wallet. For some reason, she just smacked a $100 bill on the counter and kept walking. She didn't even wait for her change, so I gave it to the homeless guys for their next meal. Somehow things just work out whenever I'm trying to get something done for others. She left me breathless with that last sentence, Lord. It was as if she was channeling grace, the living proof that heaven sends messengers to help those who are intent upon helping others. I felt so blessed to have met this person. Guidance. Life is a paradoxical journey. I have so many stories of these extraordinary miracles, and they are miracles. But I have just as many stories of people waiting, as if in a long line, for their miracle to come along. I've been asked many times to explain why God has not shown up, and the truth is, I cannot. I have no idea why a human being, or an angel, was sent to pay the bill for 5 hungry homeless people one day, while thousands upon thousands of other human beings, including helpless children, wander hungry on our earth. I don't know, and I have spent more than my fair share of hours wondering and praying and waiting for guidance on that question. But that is a human, logical question. It assumes that God's job is to compensate for all we could do for each other, but choose not to. We could share more. We could fear less. We could hate less. We could do a better job of recognizing the humanity in all human beings. We're just not that good at it yet. When someone rises to the challenge, it still astounds us. We think of them as exceptional, perhaps even saints. But such compassion for strangers should not be so rare. It should not manifest in us only during times of extreme need, such as catastrophic floods or other disasters. In an ideal world, compassion toward those in need would be second nature, something that arises out of our hearts because the suffering in one person is in all of us. Sadly, the truth is that we fear the suffering masses. We avoid the pain we see in strangers because deep down, we know their suffering could well be ours. Just like that, the circumstances in our lives could change, and we could switch places. The thought is too painful, so we avoid it altogether. Grace. Compassion is not a mental force. It is a grace. Compassion calls us to act in ways that baffle our reason. Compassion does not weigh the scales of what a person should have done or could have done. Compassion dissolves self-righteousness and moves us to act as we would have others treat us in our moments of greatest need. And now your pocket-sized prayer. Lord, I need the grace of compassion and the grace of courage to let compassion do its work on me. What good is compassion if I try to control how much I feel and toward whom? I have to confront my fear of opening my heart to strangers. That's something I do indeed fear. My heart is accustomed to recognizing those who already dwell within it. Opening space for strangers is another matter entirely. I honestly do not know if my heart is able to carry the weight of those I do not know. I am at a crossroads, but what else can I do? Close my heart? How can I pray for anything if I am afraid of life?